These are the moments that really matter. Let's see if Martin Mayer can deliver.
Martin Mayer is looking relatively composed going through hotel.
Spectators near here can smell the smoke wafting from nearby grills.
You can feel the tension building. Peter Grobler is out on track and getting ready to push for their qualifying time.
It's a delicate balance between taking it easy and pushing hard. Let's see how Peter Grobler handles it.
Peter Grobler appears focused and prepared driving through McDonald's. This is where the mental game comes into play. Philip Van Staden is taking their time to prepare for their qualifying run.
This is the moment they've been preparing for. Let's see if they can execute.
Philip Van Staden is driving through Shell Curve. It looks like Melvin Gauss is getting ready to make their move. They're taking their time to warm up those tires and get everything just right.
They will want to get a good gap established for their first flying lap.
Melvin Gauss is looking relatively composed going through Bauer Curve. It's all about strategy in these early moments. Richard Footman is taking their time to prepare for their qualifying run and get everything just right.
It's all about finding that balance between staying calm and focused, while also pushing the limits.
Richard Footman appears focused and prepared driving through Triple.
I have always loved this section of the track.
The adrenaline is pumping. Jean-Pierre Dutoit is on their out lap, warming up the tires and getting ready to put in a fast lap time. Jean-Pierre Dutoit is driving through McDonald's. Peter Geldenhuys is on their out lap. Peter Geldenhuys is looking relatively composed going through McDonald's. Peter Geldenhuys appears focused and prepared driving through Bauer Curve.
There's a spot near here where the teenagers sneak off to make out.
It's all about precision and speed in qualifying, and Peter Grobler is nailing both. Peter Grobler has improved by minus 0.2 up through McDonald's.
Peter Grobler needs all the focus and resolve they can muster to maintain this pace.
There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. It seems like Philip Van Staden is struggling, currently 0.47 off their best pace. This is where the mental game comes into play. Peter Geldenhuys is taking their time to prepare for their qualifying run. Peter Geldenhuys is driving through Shell Curve. The The pressure is on in this qualifying session, but JP Brand is rising to the occasion. JP Brand crosses the start-finish line at the end of their outlap. JP Brand is looking relatively composed going through hotel. It looks like Melvin Gauss is getting ready to make their move. They're taking their time to warm up those tires and get everything just right.
Patience is key in these early moments, Lucy.
Melvin Gauss has completed their outlap. Donovan Liu appears focused and prepared driving through McDonald's. Donovan Liu is not able to keep their pace consistent. So far they are 1.24 seconds down.
Donovan Lau is likely taking a deep breath to try and refocus their efforts.
It's clear that Wihan is pushing Thearcar to the very edge of traction on this qualifying lap. Wihan is driving through Hasseröder. Jandre Bucas is now up minus 0.21 in shell curve. Jamie Nichols is looking for ways to improve their consistency. Jamie Nichols is looking relatively composed going through shell curve. It's all about strategy in these early moments. JP Brand is taking their time to prepare for their qualifying run and get everything just right.
It's a delicate balance between taking it easy and pushing hard. Let's see how JP Brand handles it.
JP Brand will be happy having put themselves into first in this qualifying session. JP Brand appears focused and prepared driving through hotel. Incredible drive by Donovan Liu so far, earning them fourth. The competition is fierce, however, and they will need to quickly find more time to get even closer to the sharp end of the grid.
You're absolutely right, Lucy. Donovan Liu's current position of fourth reflects their strong qualifying performance. Now, they'll need to strategize and capitalize on this starting position.
Donovan Liu is driving through McDonald's.
Spectators near here can smell the smoke wafting from nearby grills.
And there goes Wayne Midden, currently in position 9. They've shown great skill and consistency so far, but with a few minutes left, there's still time to improve their result. Wayne Midden is looking relatively composed going through triple.
There's not much better than sitting near here and watching the cars speed by.
Impressive display by Jacobus Basson, currently sitting in position 7. They've set a competitive time, but the question remains whether they can push even harder to secure a better starting position. Jacobus Basson appears focused and prepared driving through triple.
I have always loved this section of the track.
It's an impressive showing by JP Brand in qualifying. They have set the bar high, leading the way with their exceptional performance. It's a fantastic position to be in, and they will be looking to convert it into a strong race result.
You're spot on, Lucy. JP Brand is showcasing exceptional skill and consistency in this qualifying session. It's a formidable position they hold, and their rivals will need to step up their game to challenge them.
JP Brand is driving through McDonald's. Donovan Liu has positioned themselves well in 4th during qualifying. The challenge now is to assess their competitors and strategize how to move up the order for a better race start. Donovan Liu will be happy having put themselves into 4th in this qualifying session. A dominant display by JP Brand in this JP Brand will be happy having put themselves into 1st in this qualifying session.
It may be difficult for them to improve further on that. Sometimes trying too hard makes you slower. They need to drive smooth and smart.
Donovan Liu has put in a great effort and currently holds 4th. With the session winding down, time is running out for them to unleash their full potential and improve their starting position. Donovan Liu will be happy having put themselves into 4th in this qualifying session.
Every fraction of a second counts. I'm sure they can find a little extra in there.
There's a little bit of wind in the air today here at OSCHERSLEBEN GP, as we're getting ready to get things underway.
The drivers are looking focused out there on the grid. I'm excited for this one, Lucy.
Taking the second spot is Peter Grobler.
But they're going to have to be quick out of the blocks if they want to keep up with the top performers.
Holding strong in 3rd place is Mark Guy. At 4th, we have the one and only Donovan Liu.
Starting from here, Donovan Liu may already have expectations of a podium finish.
Jamie Nichols lines up in 5th place as the engines rev and the race begins.
It's like they're on the outside looking in, close enough to see the front without actually being there.
And we're off. As the race begins, drivers must be wary of aggressive moves that could lead to trouble on the first lap.
Maintaining a safe distance while still pushing for position is a delicate balance. Experience and composure will be vital in these opening moments.
Settling into a rhythm is going to be crucial here. Having started in 3, Mark Guy will be looking to establish themselves in this race.
With this motley bunch of drivers there is bound to be drama, I just hope we don't miss it.
The tensions are high, and no one will want to make a crucial mistake on the first lap.
The drivers will be jostling for the best position, Lucy. Some of them may not make it to the second lap in one piece.
All the drivers will be trying to take advantage of the pack whilst they're still bunched up.
What a beautiful day for racing here at OSCHERSLEBEN GP. This is going to be good to watch.
Ernest Heather is holding 11th, but Rian Barkhuizen is right on their tail.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for Rian Barkhuizen to make up that gap, especially with Ernest Heather defending so well.
Oh, this is getting intense. Jandre Bukis is just behind Peter Geldenhuys.
It's a battle of nerves now. Jandre Bukis and Peter Geldenhuys are both pushing hard, but need to avoid mistakes that might cost them time or positions.
The race is heating up as Ronnie Jonker in 16th closes in on Martin Meyer. The gap is just over a second, and I'm sure they are going to do everything possible to try and close the distance. They're not giving up without a fight. Jean-Pierre Ducourt is looking for an opportunity to get round Philip Van Staden.
Rubbing is racing, but let's just hope they don't rub it too hard.
It's looking good for Jean-Pierre Ducourt, who has gained places and put some distance between themselves and Philip Van Staden. Hold that thought. Hold the phone. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line. The delta between Jamie Nichols in 5th and Mark Guy remains over a second, but Jamie Nichols is not letting up. They're pushing hard and looking for any opportunity to close that gap. There's 3 minutes left in this session to make that happen. He can't hold on. Ernest Heather is losing time to Wayne Midden.
This is a critical moment in the race for Ernest Heather. They need to find some extra speed and stay ahead of Wayne Midden.
This is getting exciting. Rian Barkhuizen is looking for any gap that might open up the position. This is a thrilling battle as Rian Barkhuizen edges closer to Wayne Midden in their fight for P11.
It's a fine line between pushing the car to its limits and losing control. Rian Barkhuizen is really walking that fine line.
The tension is building as Philip Van Staden trails behind Mike Ramsey. The gap is slowly but hold that thought. Hold the phone. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line. The crowd is on the edge of their seats as Philip Van Staden in 21st chases after Mike Ramsey. The delta is just over a second, and you can feel the tension in the air. Philip Van Staden needs to find a way to close the gap.
Absolutely, Philip Van Staden in 21st will need to be patient and carefully work to reduce that gap without overdriving it, as they can't afford to take unnecessary risks and risk an
Hold that thought. Hold the phone. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line. Look at that. Philip Van Staden is hot on the tail of Mike Ramsey.
The gap is 0.4 seconds now. Philip Van Staden is going to have to work a bit harder to close that gap with Mike Ramsey.
It's a battle of wills out there, with Jamie Nichols trying to outsmart and outmaneuver Donovan Lew. The gap is slowly closing, but time is running out. Situations like these often lead to a dramatic finish.
Indeed, the anticipation is high as Jamie Nichols tries to reel in Donovan Lau. But Donovan Lau is not making it easy, maintaining a consistent pace. Jamie Nichols needs to find a little extra speed to bring the fight to Donovan Lau and move up the field.
Donovan Lau wants to find a way round Jamie Nichols.
I might have said this before, but dog, bone, you know the rest.
This is where the race gets really interesting. Melvin Gauss is closing in on Donovan Lau.
Don't forget the role of aerodynamics. Melvin Go should use slipstreaming to their advantage and close the gap to Donovan Lau.
Wow, Ernest Heather is really pushing hard to catch up to Wayne Minnie. There's blood in the water for 8th place.
That's right, Ernest Heather is determined to pass Wayne Mitten and secure a higher position.
This one's going to be tough. Rian Barkhuizen is getting their elbows. Hold that thought. Hold the phone. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line. Seems like Wihan is getting in range of Richard Footman.
And if you're enjoying the racing, please remember to like and subscribe.
A great pass for Wihan as they pick off other drivers and move up the field. Meanwhile, Richard Footman has lost ground. Hold that thought. Hold the phone. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line. The race is really heating up. Ernest Heather is hunting down Wayne Mitten with everything they've got.
The gap between them is now just over 0.4 seconds.
What a move. Ernest Heather has moved up to 8th.
Amazing stuff. Focus and precision, what it's all about.
Anyone who says that Simspeed Motorsports is not the best racing club on the planet is clearly insane. The quality of driving we're seeing out there on the track is absolutely phenomenal.
I couldn't agree more. It's like these drivers were born to race. They're weaving in and out of traffic, taking corners at unbelievable speeds, and making it all look...
Hold that thought. Hold the phone. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line. Donovan Lau is running third. They are trying to catch Jamie Nichols. The fans are on the edge of their seats. It doesn't get any closer than this. It's a game of cat and mouse out there, with Martin Meyer trying to find the perfect opportunity to make a move on Jean-Dre Bucas. The gap is over a second, but every fraction counts. The battle for 20 is heating up as Philip Van Staden tries to catch Mike Ramsey in P20.
I would not be surprised if they get this pass completed soon.
This is what racing is all about. Two fierce competitors pushing each other to the limit. The pursuit is on. Peter Grobler is closing the gap on Ernest Heather, determined to claim P8. Hold that thought. Hold the phone. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line. This is not looking good for Ronnie Jonker. They've just lost 12 to Mark Guy and their strategy seems to be failing them.
Absolutely. They need to rethink their approach and come up with something new, or they risk losing even more ground. On the other hand, Mark Guy has been making some impressive moves and looks like a serious contender.
Pushing too hard can lead to mistakes, and we're seeing that now. That car is really unsettled as they push for every last bit of speed. This is what it's all about, folks. Jean-Pierre Dutoit is in hot pursuit of Rian Barkhuizen, who's just trying to stay ahead. Ernest Heather could be on a charge here, John. They have just put in a quicker lap than Peter Grobler.
The question is now, can Peter Grobler respond to that in kind? They are going to have to pick up the pace.
It looks like Peter Grobler is pushing hard to catch up to Ernest Heather. That's not a small gap, but Peter Grobler has what it takes to challenge for the position. This is going to be a nail-biter. Mark Guy is defending for their life, but Ronnie Jonker is right there doing everything they can to force a mistake.
Surely they've got enough in the tank to pull away. Gonna be interesting to watch this battle unfold.
Ronnie Jonker is on a mission, chasing Mark Guy, who's desperately trying to stay ahead. The race is heating up as Rian Barkhuizen in 18th closes in on Richard Footman. The gap is just over a second, and I'm sure they are going to do everything possible to try and close the distance. They're not. Hold that thought. Hold the phone. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line. Mark Guy is placed 12th at the moment. They are hoping to keep their distance ahead of Ronnie Jonker, who is 0.5 seconds behind.
You're spot on, and Ronnie Jonker knows that they can't rely on Mark Guy making an error. They have to keep driving with skill and determination, and be ready to seize any opportunity that comes their way.
The action is heating up here as Ronnie Jonker is in 13th, defending from Peter Geldenhuys, who is only 0.4 seconds away.
Ronnie Jonker is doing a great job of defending in the lead, and Peter Geldenhuys is pushing hard to close the gap. It's an exciting race and it's not over yet.
It's like watching two predators circling each other, waiting for the perfect moment to pounce. A great moment for Peter Grobler, who has just gained a place and moved up the standings. Tough break for Peter Grobler, who has just lost a position. The action is non-stop as Peter Grobler shadows Ernest Heather through every twist and turn, determined to claim 7th.
Should things go south between Peter Grobler and Ernest Heather, we might witness a high-speed game of bumper cars, but trust me, it's way less fun with real race cars.
This is where the skill and precision of the drivers really comes into play. Mark Guy is chasing Martin Meyer in P11.
One important aspect here is choosing the right braking points. Mark Guy needs to be precise to avoid overshooting and losing valuable time.
The pressure is on for Ronnie Jonker as they try to catch up to Mark Guy.
Ronnie Jonker needs to focus if they want to make a move and pass Mark Guy.
Oh, this is getting intense. Peter Geldenhuys is just a few car lengths behind Ronnie Jonker.
This is not going to be an easy pass to make.
Superb driving from Peter Geldenhuys, who with that overtake has gained a position in the race. Looks like Ronnie Jonker is really pushing it to the limit. They're taking those curves aggressively, but that can unsettle the car and cause handling issues.
Indeed, taking too much curb can upset the car's balance, leading to oversteer or understeer. It's all about maintaining that fine line between speed and control.
This is what high-octane racing looks like. Ernest Heather is breathing down the neck of Wayne, not giving them any room to relax.
If things go wrong between Ernest Heather and Wayne Mitten, they could be exchanging more than just paint, like maybe a strongly worded post-race chat.
Wayne Mitten has the pedal to the metal chasing Peter Grobler.
There is no room for error in this battle.
As we come into the final moments of this epic race, JP Brand is in the lead. Can they stay calm and bring home the bacon? And that, folks, is how it's done. A solid performance and great win from JP Brand. Jamie Nichols never gave up. They drove with heart and determination, ultimately securing a well-deserved second-place finish.
Strong work securing second place. Well done.
What a race from Donovan Liu, showing their skill and determination for a great third place finish. Finishing 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th is Mike McGear, Melvin Gauss, Ernest Heather, and Peter Grobler. Wayne Midden, Jean-Dre Bucas, Robert Arcoots, and Mark Guy end in 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. With Martin Meyer, Peter Geldenhuys, Ronnie Jonker, and Jacobus Basson in 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th. 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th is Raymond Barkhuizen, Wihan, Jean-Pierre Dutoit, and Mike Ramsey. In 20th and 21st, it's Richard Footman and Philip Van Staden. There's a little bit of wind in the air today here at OSCHERSLEBEN GP, as we're getting ready to kick things off. Our second place starter for today's race is none other than Jean-Dre Bucas. In the third position, we have Wayne Midden ready to tackle the race ahead.
They are in a good place to mount a good challenge come the first corner.
And in fourth place, we have Peter Grobler. Ernest Heather will look to make a splash from the 5th position on the starting grid.
It's not always easy to get the SSM Audi 3 Rupees LMSTCR this high up the starting grid.
The lights are off. It's pedal to the metal.
The opening lap is often a hotbed of potential problems. The ability to steer clear of any mishaps will set the stage for a successful race.
Is there a better sight than a field of elite racing drivers battling for position? Every lap is an opportunity for Gendre Bucas to learn just a little bit more to shave a few tenths or hundredths off their times.
Let's hope everyone is able to stay focused for the challenge ahead.
It's brilliant to see such a full grid here today.
Like gladiators, they enter Lucy, but instead of lions and swords, our champions fight in an arena of tarmac, and with fire-breathing machines of cutting-edge materials, designed to explore the very limits of physics itself in what can sometimes be very much a fight to the death.
Melvin Gauss will be studying the nearby drivers and looking for anything that could give them an advantage. Good news for Jamie Nichols, the gap to Mike McGear has decreased. It's now down to 0.2 seconds.
This is where the race gets really exciting. Both drivers will be pushing to the limit to gain the advantage.
Mark Guy is pushing really hard, but as we know, pushing too hard can lead to other mistakes, like locking up the brakes or missing a shift. These drivers are walking a razor's edge between pushing the limits and making costly errors.
Absolutely, it's all about finding that sweet spot where you're pushing the car to its limits without crossing the line into reckless driving. That's where experience and skill come into play.
In racing, anything can, and usually does, happen, especially in such an epic showdown.
It's a battle for position as Jacobus Bassen tries to make a move on Martin Mayer. This is what racing is all about.
It may seem like Ronnie Jonker is far behind, but Peter Geldenhuys can't afford to let their guard down. One mistake could give Ronnie Jonker an opening to catch up. Wihan is giving it their all as they chase down Rian Barkhuizen in P16.
It's all about finding the perfect opportunity. Wihan needs to stay patient and wait for Rian Barkhuizen to make a mistake.
It's an intense battle for positions. Ernest Heather tries to outmaneuver Gendre Bucas. This is edge of your seat racing.
You know what they say, keep your friends close, and your racing rivals even closer. Looks like Ernest Heather is taking that advice to heart today.
A commanding performance from Melvin Gauss, who has increased their lead over Jamie Nichols, putting them firmly in their rearview mirrors.
That's exactly what Melvin Gauss needed to do.
Things are heating up as Donovan Liu closes in on JP Brand. The gap between them is down to practically nothing.
The only thing closer than Donovan Lau to JP Brand right now is the paint on their cars. Talk about a close encounter.
This is where the skill and experience of the drivers really come into play. Mark Guy will need to stay focused and keep pushing, even when the gap seems insurmountable. It's not over until the checkered flag drops. Things are heating up as Jacobus Basson tries to close the gap to Martin Meyer. This is where the race gets really interesting. Ronnie Jonker is closing in on Rian Barkhuizen. neck, the closest battle we've seen in a while.
The slightest mistake from either driver could lead to a meeting with the barriers, and nobody wants an impromptu autograph session with the wall.
Hold your breath, folks. These drivers are showing exceptional car control, threading the needle through tight corners. It's a battle for supremacy.
You said it, Lucy. The different lines they're taking demonstrate their strategic thinking. It's fascinating to see how they adapt their approaches to gain an advantage.
Stop the press. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line. Look at that. Ernest Heather is hot on the tail of Wayne Mitten.
The racing is getting tight between Ernest Heather and Wayne Mitten as they battle for P3. No doubt, both drivers know that one mistake could cost them the position. It's a test of nerves as much as skill.
JP Brand is running 7th. They are trying to catch Melvin Gauss.
The mental game is just as important here. JP Brand must keep their cool while putting pressure on Melvin Gauss.
Donovan Wu is holding 9th, but Jamie Nichols is right on their tail. It's a close race between Ernest Heather and Wayne Mitten in 3rd.
This is the moment where legends are made. These drivers will go down in history as the ones who fought tooth and nail for the top spot.
Melvin Gauss wants to close that gap with Jean-Andre Bucas. The pursuit is on. JP Brand is closing the gap on Melvin Gauss, determined to claim P6. The delta between Mike McGear in 8th and JP Brand remains over a second, but Mike McGear is not letting up. They're pushing hard and looking for any opportunity to close that gap. There's 7 minutes left in this session to make that happen.
It's going to be tough for Mike McGear, as JP Brand seems to have found their rhythm. But anything can happen in racing, and we've seen Mike McGear pull off some impressive moves before. I'm excited to see if they can make it happen again.
Every move counts now as Donovan Liu works to reel in Mike McGear and overtake for P8.
With just 0.3 seconds between them, Donovan Liu will need to close the gap to have hopes of a pass.
A setback for Donovan Liu, who has just been passed. As we enjoy seeing these titans of the track battle it out, let's not forget about the pit crews. Those guys and girls are like a well-oiled machine themselves.
Absolutely, they're the unsung heroes of the racing world. But you know what they say, behind every great driver is an even greater pit crew.
The battle for 5 is heating up as JP Brand tries to catch Jean-Andre Bucas in P5.
You can see that car bouncing around as they ride the curves. It's a risky move that could end in disaster.
The crowd is on the edge of their seats as Mike McGear in 8th chases after Melvin Gauss. The delta is just over a second, and you can feel the tension in the air. Mike McGear needs to find a way to close the gap.
That's right, Mike McGear in 8th knows they have to push to the limit if they want to catch up. But Melvin Gauss is no slouch, and they're going to be pushing just as hard. It's a battle of skill and will out there.
The race is really heating up. Peter Geldenhuys is hunting down Rian Barkhuizen with everything they've got.
It's a game of strategy now as Peter Geldenhuys hunts down Rian Barkhuizen. Yes, it's all about choosing the right moments to push and when to conserve energy, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike.
Oh no, John, look at this. Melvin Gauss is closing in on Jean-Andre Bucas. The gap is now just 0.1 seconds. Jean-Andre Bucas has just dropped the ball. Melvin Gauss didn't waste any time taking advantage of that.
That's right, they've got to stay focused and not let this setback affect their mindset. Meanwhile, Melvin Goes is showing some incredible skill and determination, and is now a serious threat to the other drivers on the track.
Jamie Nichols wants to get into Mike McGear's slipstream.
It looks like they have the speed to make a move. I just hope they have the patience to do it cleanly.
Hold on to your hats, folks. Donovan Liu is right on the heels of Jamie Nichols, and we're in for a wild ride.
As an experienced driver, I can tell you that Donovan Lau must be laser focused on Jamie Nichols' every move, looking for the slightest weakness to exploit.
The pressure is on for Melvin Gauss as they try to catch up to JP Brand.
We'll have
Stop the press. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line. It's a classic case of chasing down the car ahead for Melvin Gauss, who is currently in P6. But JP Brand is not making it easy, and the gap remains over a second. This will require some expert driving from Melvin Gauss. We got a close battle as Mike McGear closes in on Jean-Andre Bucas.
Should things go awry, Mike McGear and Jean-Andre Bucas might find themselves giving a whole new meaning to the term tandem drifting, though I doubt they'd enjoy it as much as the spectators.
Looks like we might have a great battle starting here between Jean-Andre Bucas in 8th and Donovan Liu. It's been tense with a gap of only 0.3 seconds. Oh dear, Jean-Andre Bucas has dropped down to 9th. Pushing too hard can lead to mistakes, and we're seeing that now. That car is really unsettled as they push for every last bit of speed.
This is where every inch counts. Ronnie Jonker is pushing hard to close the gap on Martin Mayer. Absolutely, precision and control are key here. Knowing when to push and when to hold back can be the difference between winning and losing.
This is getting exciting. Melvin Gauss is looking for any gap that might open up the position.
It's not over yet. Melvin Goes is right on JP Brand's tail, and if they can find just a little bit of extra speed, they might be able to make a move.
Melvin Gauss is pushing really hard, but as we know, pushing too hard can lead to other mistakes, like locking up the brakes or missing a shift. These drivers are walking a razor's edge between pushing the limits and making costly errors.
Absolutely, it's all about finding that sweet spot where you're pushing the car to its limits without crossing the line into reckless driving. That's where experience and skill come into play. Melvin Goes is looking to close the 0.4 second gap and make a pass.
It looks like Jean-Andre Bucas is all over Jamie Nichols. I think they are gonna press them through hotel and try and press for a mistake.
For sure, Lucy, that's exactly what I would be doing here, as Jamie Nichols is gonna be aware of them riding their bumper. To achieve anything in this game, you must be prepared to dabble at the boundary of disaster.
It's a battle of wills out there, with Ronnie Jonker trying to outsmart and outmaneuver Martin Meyer. The gap is slowly closing, but time is running out. Situations like these often lead to a dramatic finish. This is a thrilling battle as Peter Geldenhuys edges closer to Richard Footman in their fight for P16. This is where the skill and precision of the drivers really comes into play. Philip Van Staden is chasing Peter Geldenhuys in P17. Robert R. Coots is on a mission, chasing Peter Grobler, who's desperately trying to stay ahead. It's a game of inches now as Wayne Midden tails Melvin Gauss closely, ready to capitalize on any mistake.
This battle between Wayne Mitten and Melvin Goes is...
Stop the press. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line. This is where the race gets really interesting. Ronnie Jonker is closing in on Martin Meyer.
The gap between them is just over 0.3 seconds, which can feel like miles if you're trailing and not catching up.
This is going to be a nail-biter. Jacobus Basson is defending for their life, but Jandre Bucas is right there doing everything they can to force a mistake.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for Jandre Bucas to make up that gap, especially with Jacobus Basson defending so well.
Looks like Jandre Bucas is really pushing it to the limit. They're taking those curbs aggressively, but that can unsettle the car and cause handling issues.
Indeed, taking too much curb can upset the car's balance, leading to oversteer or understeer. It's all about maintaining that fine line between speed and control. Sometimes you have to take risks to win, but pushing the car too hard can be a costly mistake. Jandre Bucas needs to be careful not to overdo it.
It looks like Peter Grobler has found another gear in the last. It's all over. Peter Grobler has claimed victory in this race with a stunning drive that will be remembered for years to come. Clearly at the top of their game right now.
You can see the sheer determination on Peter Grobler's face as they take the win. That's the mark of a true champion, folks.
What a fantastic race from Robert Arcutz, who brings it home in second place. That was an outstanding performance from Ernest Heather. They fought hard and took the final spot on the podium. Taking 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th is J.P. Brand, Wayne Midden, Jamie Nichols, and Mike McGear. Melvin Gauss, Jacobus Basson, Jandre Bucas, and Martin Meyer take 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. Donovan Liu, Ronnie Jonker, Wihan, and Rian Barkhuizen in 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th. 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th sees Peter Geldenhuys, Richard Footman, Philip Van Staden, and Jean-Pierre Dutoit. Finishing 20th is Mark Guy.